So Avatar, The Way of Water, hits 950 million. I'm hearing it's actually at 1 billion. So, I think we'll say it's somewhere in between 950 to $1 billion. Even though that really doesn't matter, it'll hit it today if it's not already there. Now, we're 2 weeks out on this movie. This movie has had 2 weeks, and it hit $1 billion. But I'm not so sure it's going to have the same amount of pull that it had in the first 2 weeks moving forward. Will it be able to crawl to $2 billion? That's the question I have. I really do wonder if it'll make that money. Now, it's already beat my original estimate, so who knows? I wasn't even sure if it was going to make $1 billion. I was saying 900 million. So it proved me wrong. I guess people love this franchise, which it blows me away because it's been 13 years, I believe, right? 13 years since the original. And the first one, in my opinion, is particularly not that great of a movie. It's basically dances with wolves in space. I mean, I guess that's fine. It's a tried and tested formula that works. 1 billion. So we'll see if it actually makes that other billion. Maybe it'll defy the odds. I don't know. What I do know is James Cameron is doing his best to try and come off cringy and weird. He had his testosterone comment that everyone was scratching their heads at not that long ago. It was funny because this is a man who has pretty much built his entire career on toxic masculinity, as they like to call it, and big, strong dudes. And, come on, Terminator 2, True Lies, great stuff. The man has truly made fantastic movies, and I'm not taking that away from him, but it seems like in his old age, he's just becoming kind of a wuss. So he comes out with this interview, or whoever talked to him, and he says that he cut down firearms in Avatar, The Way of Water, because he doesn't want to fetishize the gun. Bro, you built your whole movie career on guns. You wouldn't be where you are without the big action blockbuster. It's true. If he wants to admit it or not, that's how you even got your name out there. Like, no one would know who the hell you are if it wasn't for your big, amazing action films. And this is a movie about war with humans. It's a native tribe to a planet that doesn't have the technological advances that Earth has. And, I mean, they use, what are they, you're going to give them spears? This is just stupid. It doesn't make any sense. But this is what he's out there doing his best to make people think that he's weird. I mean, this shit doesn't help a movie. Just stop talking. I understand he's got to do interviews for promotion, but the director doesn't usually do as much as he's been doing. Usually it's the cast that does interviews. But James Cameron's running around doing interviews with anybody that wants to hear what the hell he has to say. And he keeps saying stupid shit. My favorite, though, by far, that he said in these dumb interviews is when he said he was fine with that awful Terminator movie, Dark Fate. I was happy with the way it turned out. Happy with bastardizing Terminator 2, his greatest movie. I honestly don't know where his name would be in the list of, iconic directors without Terminator 2. Because in my opinion, that's the movie that really pushed him into the stratosphere. Because Terminator 2 is a classic. It's a timeless movie that will still be good in 20 years. And I don't care how good movies will look in 20 years. That movie is just, it's a magical action movie, and everything is just done right in it. Anyway, my favorite action movie of all time is Terminator 2. I think it's a great movie. Try to watch it at least once a year if I can, because it's just that good. So here's what he had to say. I had a bit of a crisis of faith as we were cutting the movie together, admitted James Cameron in his $1 billion grossing Avatar, The Way of Water. It was too violent. I wanted a balance between the beauty, the epiphany, the kind of spiritual aspect of the film with the action, and I felt it had gotten a little too grim. So he also goes on to say, while those who've balked at the blockbuster's 3-hour-plus runtime may find it hard to believe, Cameron says he trimmed some violent moments from the film. I actually cut about 10 minutes of the movie targeting gunplay action, Cameron told Esquire Middle East. You have to have conflict, of course. Violence and action are the same thing, depending on how you look at it. This is the dilemma of every action filmmaker, and I'm known as an action filmmaker. Yeah, you are known as an action filmmaker, except Titanic, his love story. But that movie still had action in it. There was even a gunfight in that movie. Well, no, one guy shooting at Jack and Rose, that her fiance's bodyguard. So it wasn't a gunfight, but there was a gun scene in it. And then, of course, the ship breaking into. Cameron does shit like that really good. I'm not denying it. But I just, listen to this. This is what's really messed up. These are shocking admissions for the man responsible for some of the most iconic violence in movie history. From his Terminator films to John Rambo's 74 kills in Rambo the First Blood Part 2, which Cameron co-wrote, to the multi-monster battle of aliens, to the ceramic-smashing bathroom fight in True Lies, to the violence of Alita Battle Angel. This is what blows me away right here, though. I look back on some of those films that I made, and I don't know if I would want to make that film now. I don't know if I'd want to fetishize the gun like I did on a couple of Terminator movies 30-plus years ago. In our current world, what's happening with them turns my stomach. And then he talks about how he's glad they're all banned in New Zealand where he lives now. You built your career on them. He's trying to downplay them like he's expecting to get targeted. I don't know what's wrong with him. I can't take anything away from what this man has accomplished in his life. He has made some fantastic films, and I recommend just about everything this man has ever put his name on, because he is, for sure, a legendary director. But some of the shit that he's been saying lately, I like to make fun of these Hollywood celebrities when they come out and do this shit, because I always call it job applications and they're trying to get work. You don't need to do that, James Cameron. You can get work easy. It's just odd to me. Does he just want to do, dramas now? You're an action director. You're going to have guns in all of your movies to make them interesting. So it's just weird to me. And this shit doesn't help sell this movie. And honestly, what he's saying here won't impact the movie's success at all. I just find it odd and kind of unnecessary. Because it's a bad message to his fans that love his movies. Even if you don't like guns. And I'm not saying you have to. But action movies are a really fun, special genre that a lot of people love, especially men. And it's just kind of a head scratcher. It's almost like kind of turning on your audience in a way. But anyway, that's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think about all this. I'd like to hear from you. Also, if you would, please like, subscribe, share the video. Make sure you're still subscribed. Hit that notification bell. Check out my Rumble and my locals, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace. Make sure to check out my locals. There's a link in the description. It's a fun community that I'm trying to build over here. If you don't want to support me on YouTube, you can come over here. None of that money goes to YouTube. You also can just come over here for free. But if you are a supporter over here, I do plan on doing an extra live stream once a month and throwing links to the supporters so you can actually come on and have a supporter live stream with me. Also, it's a good place to catch all of my content. You don't have to worry about notifications like YouTube. They'll definitely work over here. So come check out my locals.